Good morning, welcome to Bitcoin Bounce. My name is Joseph and today I'm here with Dion. And today I want to show you a clip from Altcoin Daily where they feature CZ from Binance, where he talks about the future of Binance and how FTX and the crash of FTX, impacts the Binance. Okay, now I've been impacted severely. About 6 or 7 months ago, I took the crypto money that I have and I divided it into 3 groups, and I put a third into Binance, and I put a third into FTX, and I put a third of that into KuCoin. And so now 1/3 of my money just kind of vanished a little bit through this whole bankruptcy of FTX, and it's very, very disappointing for me. For a moment I even felt, do I even want to do crypto again? What if KuCoin and Binance would also fail? Then all my money is gone. And so, on an emotional level, it's very negative for me. But I do own a good amount of Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I'm full of faith that those two will go up, and I bought them quite low, so I could possibly make up all my losses quite quickly if those just want to go up. So Dion, I want to ask you, what do you think? Did you have any money in FTX? How do you feel emotionally about this whole crash of FTX?
Yeah, I didn't have money in there. I'm in Bybit and KuCoin and Binance as well, like you. But it is terrifying that because everyone is so surprised because it looked great, looked fantastic. They just fooled the entire world. And that makes you fearful of the other exchanges. Can you trust what these guys say? So that is a bit concerning, and I'm thinking that one should actually spread your money like among 10 exchanges and not only 3. Just divide it up even further. There are a few other really great other exchanges that one could do. So yeah, it is concerning, man. It is terrible for the guys that lost money there.
Yeah, so we live here in South Africa, and I thought in the beginning, I'm just going to keep all my money in Binance, and then Binance sent us a letter to let us know we can no longer use the perpetual futures function. And so, I want to trade with leverage, and now I cannot trade with leverage anymore. And so now I needed to start looking elsewhere. And so I found KuCoin and Bybit and FTX. I put a little bit of money in Bybit, not a lot. But FTX, it's easy to open up sub-accounts. When you want to open up sub-accounts on Binance, it's quite a mission to do that. If you are not a very big trader, they don't want you to do that. But in FTX, I could have sub-accounts immediately. It was also easy for me to set up my perpetual futures. If you want to trade futures, it's such a nice thing to trade with FTX. And that's why I kind of moved a little bit more of my money towards FTX. And now I'm obviously very disappointed that I did that, because not only did I lose my money that I put in, but also all the profits that I made with my futures trading that I did. All right, but now the biggest part of my money is in Binance, and so that's why I'm watching Binance very closely. I want to show you this clip as an interview with CZ from Binance. And let's just listen to what he says, because that will definitely kind of make us a little bit more positive about where Binance is going and how this crash of FTX is impacting them.
CZ, Sam Bankman-Fried has said that it was not a good strategic move on his part to get in this battle with you. He says he regrets it because obviously it helped reveal the issues with FTX that led to the collapse of all of this. Do you regret that feud?
We were never in a battle with him. He may think he's in a battle with us. We didn't even notice. We don't focus on other smaller exchanges. Clearly that he lied to his users, his investors, his VC investors, his employees. With the news of them becoming insolvent, we just said, well, we want to sell those tokens.
Welcome back, everybody, to Altcoin Daily. You subscribe for daily videos, keeping you informed in everything going on in cryptocurrency. We'll hear more from CZ Binance in just a second. I need to take you through some breaking news, some big revelations coming out of the FTX SBF scandal. This is stuff that you need to really just, I don't know if you're going to be able to wrap your head around some of this stuff. We'll start here. Bahamas government says that they were the ones who ordered Sam Bankman-Fried to hack FTX. The Securities Commission of the Bahamas has confirmed that it was them who ordered Sam Bankman-Fried to transfer the exchange assets to the government after saying, go ahead, hack yourself. The key takeaways of this story are as follows. Sam Bankman-Fried conducted last week's 9-figure FTX hack under the instruction of the Securities Commission of the Bahamas. FTX has filed a motion with the court claiming the commission's actions were unauthorized, so FTX didn't like that too much. The Bahamian government is now one of the world's largest Ethereum holders after converting FTX's assets to Ethereum. So it's interesting they chose to convert to Ethereum, and it's interesting now the small government of the Bahamas is one of the world's largest Ethereum holders. That's not even the craziest thing. Now Forbes is releasing puff pieces on Caroline Ellison, the CEO of Alameda, another puff piece on this whole FTX debacle. If you've been following the story like we have, you know it was the New York Times just a couple days ago who did this whole puff piece on Sam Bankman-Fried, how he wasn't so bad. And now Queen Caroline gets top press. Alameda Research CEO Caroline Ellison is a math whiz who loves Harry Potter and takes big risks. She is also one of the supporting players in Sam Bankman-Fried's FTX catastrophe and a new darling of the alt-right. What the hell? It's not that they're 100% wrong. It's just the way they frame this whole thing, it doesn't make any sense. And now they pinned this tweet? They pinned this tweet. Everyone can see they're being paid to run fluff pieces on FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, and Caroline, and they don't care. Why? Because nothing's going to happen to them. So they run the piece and they pin it. Risk-loving? Before we move on to other cryptocurrency news, see, now you understand why you can't trust the mainstream media. There's an abundance of news articles making Sam Bankman-Fried and Caroline out to be heroes. See, we know it's a lie because it's a topic that we know a lot about. If you subscribe to our channel, this is the topic that you know a lot about. Imagine all the bullcrap they're getting wrong about topics that we don't know about. So if the New York Times piece on Sam Bankman-Fried and then this one from Forbes on Caroline doesn't show you how the media tries to literally manipulate your thought process, beliefs, and behavior towards others, then I don't honestly know what to say. We are literally in a daily fight for our lives. FTX employees were claiming expenses through online chat, and then random managers used emojis to approve them. This is all coming to light in the bankruptcy filings. The new CEO is putting out this information. Let's dive into it. FTX fraud. More bombshell revelations in new bankruptcy filing. A new bankruptcy filing from FTX CEO John J. Ray III has shed light on what he called a complete failure of corporate controls in the beleaguered crypto exchange. So, things are going from bad to worse for former FTX CEO SBF and his accomplices. A Thursday bankruptcy filing from new FTX CEO John J. Ray III has shed new light on the nefarious activities taking place at the now bankrupt crypto exchange under its previous CEO SBF. Ray is a 40-year veteran of the bankruptcy restructuring business with a resume that includes supervising Enron's dissolution in 2001. In the 30-page document, Ray reveals numerous instances of poor record-keeping, fraud, and malpractice at FTX. In his opening statement, he commented on the company's overall state in uncompromising terms, stating, "Never in my career have I seen such a complete failure of corporate controls and such a complete absence of trustworthy financial information as occurred here." Ray took over from Sam Bankman-Fried after FTX and its affiliated companies filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy on November 11th. Despite his experience, including experience at Enron, Ray made it clear that he had never seen a company in such poor shape as FTX. Quote, from compromised systems integrity and faulty regulatory oversight abroad to the concentration of control in the hands of a very small group of inexperienced, unsophisticated, and potentially compromised individuals, this situation is unprecedented. Amazing that FTX had some of the worst bookkeeping in modern fraud history, despite having the power of blockchain on their side. One of the most damning revelations from the document concerns loans made out to Sam Bankman-Fried and senior FTX execs Nishad Sain and Ryan Salami. According to Ray, the FTX-affiliated trading firm Alameda Research paid out a total of $3.3 billion to Sam Bankman-Fried and his shell company Paperbirds Inc., along with $540 million to Sain and $55 million to Salami. Other bombshell revelations include FTX's negligent approach to bookkeeping. The document asserts that FTX failed to keep appropriate account records and security procedures for digital asset holdings, which ultimately led to the user deposits on the exchange being hacked for $372 million shortly after it declared bankruptcy. There's so much we could talk about as far as what was revealed in this bankruptcy report. Just a couple more things. It was thought that FTX had a balance sheet, crypto assets worth around $5.5 billion. Ray, after digging in, now pegs the fair value of the company's crypto holdings at just around $700,000. Ray also divulged that FTX didn't hold a complete list of all the employees working at FTX and its affiliates. What the heck? So, where do we go from here? Well, FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, will face congressional hearings in December, so look forward to that. What you need to know, the U.S. House Financial Services Committee will hold a hearing on the collapse of FTX in December. It will seek testimony from former FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried, Alameda Research, Binance, and FTX itself. With over 1 million victims and counting, the FTX scandal is the largest crypto-related fraud in history. Speaking about CZ and Binance testifying before Congress against FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried, let me give you a taste of what you will hear in December, because Andrew from CNBC asked CZ directly, take us through. Were you really intending to buy out FTX, and how did you decide you weren't going to do it? Take us through the process. It was clear FTX misappropriated user funds and lied to investors. Listen to CZ.
Take us back, if you could, to when you first got the call from Sam and you first had a chance to look at the books, because I think a lot of people are still trying to understand exactly what happened here. How much of this was about commingling? How much of this was about terrible marking of the books? What did you see?
Yeah, I think I got a call from Sam 48 hours after I made the tweet. He wanted to talk. So at the beginning, I thought he would just wanted to, do an OTC deal to buy out the FTT tokens we had. And then he wanted actually a buyout of the entire firm, of the entire FTX platform. It was pretty clear pretty soon that there's misappropriation of user funds. The user funds are gone. At that point, it's clearly that he lied to his users, his investors, his VC investors, his employees. At that point, I thought I couldn't, whatever data that's in the data room, we couldn't trust anymore. So it was quite hard for us to do that due diligence. So we didn't go very far.
We've all seen his tweets now overnight. Do you think he understood what he was doing?
I think he thought he understood. I think he probably still think he understands what he's doing now, which I don't think he should be tweeting.
That's for sure. But in terms of intent, I mean, one of the things that's going to be looked at, I'm sure, by regulators, potentially by prosecutors, is what he intended to do. He seems to suggest in a lot of these tweets that he didn't understand, or he mismarked things. And when I say mismarked things, mislabeled things is what I think is the phrase that he's used. And yet, when you looked under the books, clearly it appears that he was demonstrably commingling funds, using the funds to leverage himself up and the like.
Yeah, I think, look, I didn't do the due diligence myself, but I think it will be very, very clear that Sam knows that he was using the user funds to do trading for Alameda, and he has been probably doing this for quite a while that nobody else knew until very recently. Well, a small number of people in FTX probably knew, but most of the other normal employees probably did not know. I think that's probably the most likely situation.
Awesome, guys. I hope this gave you a little bit of hope. I'm definitely going to continue with Binance, and but like Dion said, I'm going to kind of research a little bit more and make sure that I just put some of my crypto also in some of the other exchanges. I trade my trades through the 3 Commas platform, and they allow me on the Pro plan to use multiple exchanges, so that's not an issue for me. We are going to be back again on Friday morning to look at Bitcoin again. Remember, later today, there's going to be some really, really big announcements. Maybe, Dion, I just want to quickly just jump in here. No, I didn't warn you, but do you mind to just show us maybe on your screen just the different announcements that's going to happen later today so that we can be ready for them?
Let me just find it for you. Okay, this is in South African time. So the big ones for the US dollar starting 3:30 SA time. So it's core durable goods, unemployment claims, the flash services, which for some reason last month made a big difference. It was very volatile around that. New home sales, consumer sentiment, inflation expectations. So it's quite a lot of news events. From 3:30 to 5:30, so for 2 hours just US news one after the other. So that would be a good time to maybe stay out of the markets or put stop losses under your positions, because anything could happen then.
Awesome, thank you, Dion. All right, guys, we're going to be back on Friday again. We're going to look again at Bitcoin, and hopefully this helium trade is going to make you a lot of money. If you haven't taken a helium trade, you can go back to our previous video that we did. You can just look there where Dion explained to us the right levels where you can jump into this helium trade, and there is a possible 100% growth if you're willing to hold onto that coin. We'll see you on Friday. Thank you. Thank you, Dion.
Thank you, guys. See you on Friday. Ciao.